Welcome back, kids. Did you enjoy that story? Alright, we're now going to move to another one, this time from South Africa. It's about a king with a ring. And in that ring lay all the secret of his power and his greatness. The ring was made of gold brought up the river Nile, inlaid with silver brought up the river Congo, and topped with diamonds brought up by the river Zambezi. So the story goes. Though exactly where the ring came from, no one knows for sure. The king wore the magic ring every hour of every day, except when he went for his ceremonial bath. Now on these occasions, the king was carried to the crystal clear pool beside the waterfall. There, all his servants and his children and his many wives bowed low to him, and then they backed away out of sight. Once they had left, the king would take off his crown of gold and ivory and peacock feathers, his cloak of gold and silk and precious stones, his sandals of ebony and rhinoceros hide, and his robe of the purest white linen. And then he would take off his ring and hide it in a place so secret, so well concealed, that not his servants, not his children, nor even his many wives could make the slightest guess as to where it was. But the day arrived when he stepped, dripping out of his ceremonial bath into the warm sun, and to find that the ring was not there. All his wives shook their heads in sorrow, and his children kept well away. It was his favorite wife that persuaded him to tell her what was wrong. Immediately, she went to the house of the wisest of all the diviners, a man called Zafusa Bele. Then Zafusa straightened up and looked at the king. "Your ring will be found, your majesty," he said. "The thief is close to us." "Who is it?" demanded the king. At dawn on the next day, all those who could possibly have had the slightest chance to steal the ring were gathered in the great square, in front of the palace. The king appeared at the top of the steps leading down from the front door and stood there, staring silently at the bowing people. Then he clapped his hands, and soldiers appeared all around the square, armed with sharpened spears so no one could escape. Through a small archway appeared Zafusa, all the more terrible, now with white circles around each eye and strange dark designs on his body. Finally, at the king's command, everyone in the square was given one stick. "Take care," thundered Zafusa. "These sticks are full of power. Do not lose them. Have them with you all through today. Bring them back here at dawn tomorrow. As the sun rises, we shall see what we shall see." But the strange thing was that by the time the sun had set that evening, every single person who had been in the square knew that by dawn, the thief's stick would have grown by the length of 3 fingers. Stick after stick was measured all the way around the square. Not one of them had grown so much as a fingernail in length. But there was one stick that was exactly the thickness of 3 fingers shorter than anyone else's. "There's the thief!" shrieked Zafusa, leaping high in the air and waving his spear. ordering the royal guards into action. "Feed him to the lions." The thief promptly forgot that the ring protected him and fell to his knees and cried and pleaded. He took off the ring from the hand he had been hiding and gave it to the king and cried some more and begged for mercy. And the king was so pleased to have his ring back and to be the most powerful king in all of Africa once more that he allowed the royal lions to go without their breakfast. What do we learn from this story? Again, not to lie. Again, not to steal. And again, if you do, apologize.